Hey there, boys, girls, and flying squirrels. My name's Joe Keyport, and you're listening to the Ear Coffee Podcast. For this week's episode, I continued my quest of having heavy bands on this podcast, so I sat down with Dino, Paul, and Zach of the hardcore act Casual. The band put out their Rare Form EP in January of 2020, which, if you haven't heard, is a furious 11 minutes of grimy punk goodness. It's short, it's sweet, it's my conversation with Casual right here on the Ear Coffee Podcast. So, do you guys want to introduce yourself first? Trying to get into it?
Sure.
Yeah.
You go in a circle?
My name is Paul.
Okay.
I play drums and do half the vocals.
Okay.
I'm Zach, and I play bass and do vocals.
And my name's Dino, and I play guitar.
And you are the trio that is Casual.
Yep.
How you guys doing this morning?
Pretty good.
Good, yeah.
Just rolled out of bed.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ready to go.
Try to at least make it not so early that it's that much of a pain to get here, but obviously early enough so you still have your Saturday. So we can start off, just start off with how you all got into music and how Casual kind of came together. Now, I know it's kind of a tall order, but just kind of take me through how each of you kind of got involved in the band as we know it right now, the 25th of January, 2020. Yeah.
Well, Dino and I went to middle school and high school together, and we were playing music back then.
Mm-hmm.
We were in our show choir band, so we did that, and then we just later met Zach, who came from his own neck of the woods. But Casual was just a band that came from wanting to just get wild and just do stuff that we've never done. So, but
Yeah, I met Paul and Dino when my band that I started in 2012, Infinite Me, started practicing in the same space, and then we all kind of got to know each other that way. We practiced at Hush Studio, where we still practice there now. But
So Infinite Me was... Because I know, Dino, you're in Infinite Me.
Yeah.
And then, Paul, I've seen you in photos.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you in that band? Or
yep.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
the latest new member.
So essentially,
Yeah.
Casual has been in...
Yeah.
Okay. Casual then started around 2015-ish? Or that was the first
Yeah.
EP anyway.
Yeah,
so,
it was then,
So
yeah.
when was that about? When was the band started? What was that year?
I think it was probably at the because I know we recorded that first demo thing. We did it with Eric Paulson at the end of 2015, and we had just started probably earlier that year. We one day we were just messing around and we wrote one riff and we played it for hours and we were
And
dude.
months.
Yeah,
Before
and
we did
months,
anything else, it was just
Yeah.
one riff
So-
that was super fun. And
And then we just
fun mess around,
Yeah.
jam, and then it just blossomed into a real band.
Gotcha. Paul, since you were one half of the vocals, what is it like being a drummer and a vocalist, especially in a hardcore band? Because it's kind of a tall order behind the kit, doing everything, and then on top of that, what's that? Can you tell me about that? And what was the decision for you to do vocals as well?
So yes, it is super hard. I guess when we first started, we wrote all the songs and then we put our vocals over it.
Okay.
And the first time I tried to yell and play drums, it was learning how to play for the first time. It was just having to split your mind and do that was super insane. But I always wanted to yell in a band, but I was I also want to play drums. And then I was I think Dino was probably do both. And I was
yeah.
I'll try it out, and it's
I was I already do vocals in all the other groups, so I was I'm not going to
Yeah.
do vocals in this. I was y'all do that. And yeah.
so,
Nice.
but it's been cool. It's a lot of work, but it's it's super fun.
Okay. And then Zach, what is your? Cause you have I was trying to figure out again because finding liner notes and then seeing photos. Do you do backups? What is your? Because you sing as well vocals in the band too.
Yeah.
So then do you split it 50-50 or how is that kind of divvied up?
Yeah, it's pretty 50-50. We kind of just go back and forth. And yeah, I would say we split it pretty good right down the middle.
Gotcha.
And just go do back and forth parts or just like a verse and then someone else takes over for half the rest of the song.
Gotcha.
That type of thing.
Okay. I know in Infinite Me, Dino, you write a lot of the lyrics. Is that kind of how it works with Casual too, or how?
Nah, they write the lyrics for it. Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. So when putting together, because with a lot of hardcore music, you have a very brief amount of time to say as much as possible. Kind of tell me about that, because I've always wondered with the fact that I was looking at it, the longest song you have is 1 minute and 36 seconds. Like, what is your thought process going into trying to say the most with as little as possible and trying to do something like that?
I feel like a lot of the stuff Zach and I write is kind of just like small, like 1 to 2 liners, that kind of just like you have to try. Yeah, you have to wrap up like as much as you can in such a small amount. And then when we get together, we both have like stuff that we've written, and it'll be like, oh, you got something for this song? Cool. Like, what are you saying? And then it's like, I got some stuff that like totally makes sense with that, and then we just like smash it together.
Yeah, it's very we collaborate.
Gotcha.
It's not just like one person writes a song. We kind of just mash our stuff together and just like make it work as best as we can.
So then, question: we'll get to Rare Form in a little bit, but who decided to end the song "Auto" with "You've Got a Friend in a Diamond Business"? Because I just like heard it this morning and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I dropped that in there.
It was perfect. So then you put out. So you worked on that first kind of demo, Shade, with Eric Paulson, and then you did your last record, and then this one with Jeremy. Is it Tapero?
Tapero.
Tapero. What made you? Where did that connection come from, and why did you stay kind of with him as you moved into this Rare Form? Talk to me about that relationship and kind of what it is working with him, because it's always interesting, especially when you stay from person to person and you have so many options to do recording and stuff like that, or even do it yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeremy is someone who, like, for Dino and I, all our old bands, everything we've recorded since pretty much 13 or
earlier than that, even.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
it's always been Jeremy, and he's just like, he's a good dude, and like he knows us so well at this point, and we've thrown so many different styles at him, and he's always just taking it on, and like he really listens to us and like catches our vibe with everything super quick. So and he likes Casual, so it was just like it was super easy. He's always in a cool studio too, so
yeah.
Because
you did this newest one at Flowers, right?
Right.
Which I wanted to ask about that too, just because you thank the late Ed Ackerson and his partner in the liner notes. Did you know Ed and stuff like that, or
not really prior?
Okay.
We got to meet his wife while we were recording, and like had known of them for a long time. Never really gotten to sit down and like meet them at all, but knew a lot of his work and really appreciated all the like stuff that he'd done for the music community, like at large in general. And so it was really a privilege, like, and an honor to be able to like go into that studio. And Jeremy was really close with him, and so when Ed passed, he kind of gave Jeremy and 1 or 2 other guys the keys and was like, please keep the studio going and help support my wife in my passing. And so Jeremy hit us up and said that he wanted to do stuff at Flowers, and we were down from the word go. So
it was because like I didn't know Ed, and I would only like marginally known, like had seen his name in liner notes, but it was crazy after he had passed, just the number of artists and the different styles, like people kind of paying tribute to him from like hardcore and other stuff. Just like he was one of the first people to hear demos and was like, do this and keep going, which is super cool to think that someone like that, especially with such a diversity. You recorded this one live, right? Do you do all your records live like that?
Yeah.
What about doing it live does it for you? Just because, I mean, obviously hardcore, there's the vibe there that you want, because like thinking about either like Black Flag Records, or I was watching a Vice documentary on when Off did their last record. They always did all of that live. What about that makes you want to do it as a band?
I guess just like you said, the overall vibe in the room, just like playing together you kind of capture something that you wouldn't get if you just tracked everything individually.
Gotcha.
We're also super into the like what you hear recorded and then like seeing it live, you know. It's if it's recorded live, when we play it live, you know, it's like as close as we can get to the recording, and I think that like is, to me, it's cool, you know. I like seeing a band, and like if their live show is completely different than the recording, sometimes that's like really cool, you know. It just like depends on the band, but I also like if I see a band that sounds exactly like their record, I'm like, damn, dude, that's badass.
They know what they want.
Yeah. And just saying like, oh yeah, we recorded it live in one day is just kind of like.
So that was just one session. You just kind of came and did everything.
One day.
Everything, including vocals, no overdubs or anything.
Yep, one day.
Nice. Then is that kind of where almost, because I was wondering how much like influence Jeremy has in with a lot of the recording. Is it once you get done with the take, is it like everybody kind of sit down and listen to it and like see if you like it or hear it, just to like let's do it again, or what's kind of that methodology? Because you want to make sure, especially if you want to get a live performance,
right,
making sure the tape sounds like it does in front of people.
I think working with Jeremy so long has like made it easy to record live, because we kind of just go in the room and we'll just be like, all right, let's do this one, and then if we'll play it once and be like, nah, let's do it again, and he's just like, yep, go, and you know, he's just like ready, and he just kind of rolls with it, and like, you know, I think like we'll do like 4 songs or something and like go back and listen to them all, or like maybe we'll just do one like 4 times and then go listen to all of them, and so
gotcha.
Yeah, he's really good at just kind of letting us like do our thing, you know. So
then you released Rare Form earlier this month. I was wondering what kind of like where were y'all at when you were writing this one? Because it had been about 2 years since you'd put out a release.
Come around,
So kind of talk to me about that, where some of like the themes in the album came from and some of that other stuff. So talk to me about like putting that together and writing it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess we were pretty busy for the last few years, and some of those songs we were sitting on for a good while, but where we were at, I guess we've just been practicing a lot and kept writing. As far as themes and stuff, it's just kind of me and Paul. For like lyrics, we just would kind of write on our own and then come together, and it just kind of came together organically, I guess. We didn't really think too hard about the theme and stuff. Okay. It was just like whatever's heavy.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
And I think what we write kind of naturally just like comes out of what we're going through, you know, like I feel like I'll write stuff and then not even realize it until I like hear it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that's kind of about like, you know, like last winter we like started a business and we were just like painting houses, whatever. It's not a big deal. It was like we had fun, but we like there's like some stuff that indirectly came from that, where it's like we had like some very interesting times doing all that, and it was fun, but it was also like we hated it because it pulled us away from music a lot. So like there was like a big gap where we were just like working a lot and we didn't get to pay attention to music. So then like I think earlier last spring is when we like really like were able to write the rest of the record, and I think a lot of the themes came from like that, you know, because I feel like we talk a lot about just like, you know, like screw the man, just like do what you want to do, and like
there's a lot of
work hard, grind hard, you know, just
taking
like,
control almost.
Just like totally.
Gotcha. So then along with this, you just did a small run of shows. Talk to me about those shows. What were they like? What was that small tour like? Because you tour a fair bit as Casual, right?
Yeah, we try to.
Okay.
That was really fun. We played in like Elgin, Illinois, whatever. That's a great spot. People went crazy, and then we played a really fun house show in Iowa City. Played at Lefties in Des Moines, and we actually got like there's a huge snowstorm that night.
Yeah,
and we were supposed to play in Fargo on Saturday night. And we got stuck in Des Moines, and then we tried to drive home on Saturday after we had to cancel our show. And then after like 5 hours of driving on the highway, it was just like blizzard, horrible, whatever. So we got stuck, and then got home on like Sunday at like late in the afternoon before our show, which was like definitely not a part of the plan. But then that show on Sunday night, the record release show, was insane.
That was one of those few, like, I was seeing Instagram stories about it as it was going on, and just like the fear of missing out was just so strong, especially with that lineup, because it was Tulip, Grandma, who's the other? Granddad, yeah. And then what's Seward Cafe like? Because I've never seen was that Seward?
Seward, yeah.
Because they host a lot of like heavy bands there. What's it about that spot that?
I think it's the people in the community they have there is very much a part of the local scene, music scene in general, and a lot of heavy music. They'll clear out the side room of all the tables, and they have a really small stage in the corner, and they're able to fit a lot of people in that room. And somebody was telling me at that show that it almost felt like being at a DIY house show, like at a basement or in somebody's living room, but you're in a cafe, just because it doesn't have a venue vibe about it. But
there's absolutely no separation between the crowd and the
when we played there, we played in the middle of the room, and just had people circle up all around us in a big circle to try and get as many people in the room as we possibly could, and like give as many people view as they could too, and really had kind of a party vibe to it, which was really fun.
Absolutely. You released the single Muck in December, but that single didn't appear on the EP. What was that? Was that a conscious decision, and what was kind of the thought process behind that?
We just, when we recorded more than, like, we had, I think, 12 songs, and we put 10 on Rare Form, and then we kind of, like, really wanted to make sure we, like, got some music out in 2019, kind of, but also, like, it was just, like, I don't know, that seemed like a standalone track almost, so we were like, why don't we just, like, do a video, put it out as a single, like, we had our friend Trevor Arsvald do like some sick artwork, and we were like, well, you know, it just kind of fell together. And we were like, that's cool, you know. So
with you said you had like 12 songs. Is there another song that's just kind of like hanging out right now?
Yep.
Do you have plans for that one?
I don't know.
Not yet.
We'll see.
Sitting on it.
We call it Nutty. It's a weird one, so we'll just like wait and see what happens.
Gotcha. So you shot a video for Muck, and that was done by you all. Tell me about that video, and just kind of. There's a sort of storyline with like Grim Reaper and chasing the band. Kind of talk to me about that video and what was like shooting that one.
I kind of thought up the video.
Okay.
And the goal was just to have it be like kind of funny, lighthearted, but also kind of heavy and dark at the same time. And I think it turned out pretty good. We just did a GoPro and found a way to get all that stuff and like the costume, and it was kind of just a simple idea. We just rolled with it. And
none of us have like video skills or went to any kind of school or learning any of that stuff, so it's kind of like Paul bought a GoPro, and then Zach and Paul just edited it and figured out like, oh, what does this thing do on the app, or click and drag and paste, and just kind of figured it out and made it work, which is a fun little project to kind of do as a group.
Yeah, it was just kind of, was it shot all in one day? Just kind of.
Yep.
Nice. Was it around here, or?
We did all like the shots, most of the inside of a house that was like our house.
Yeah.
And then we just did like some stuff around Minneapolis, and then we went out to this place in Chaska, it's just like out in the woods kind of, and did like the wood shots and stuff, and got our hands on a casket and just like slapped it on the van and drove around.
Where'd you get a casket?
Just like
found it.
I know a guy.
Yeah, casket guy.
Yeah, I got my casket.
Something every person should have their
heavy
connection
to.
Yeah.
Coffin guy.
Yeah. So then, kind of, what does the rest of 2020 look like for you? You got tours coming up? You got stuff more in the works, or
what do we got?
For now, just a couple local shows.
Okay.
And we're talking to some bands about doing some spring and summer stuff that's coming together. But for now, our next show is at the Fallout on the 1st, with Mover Shaker.
Yeah, I just bought tickets for that show. I'm excited. Yeah. Mover Shaker. You could keep. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was like, oh yeah, that show is.
No, who else is it? Dad Bod and Nice.
Yeah.
Excited
to see Dad Bod. Haven't seen them yet. Heard some good things.
We've seen Wes and I have seen them twice. We saw them back-to-back nights.
Did you go to Alligators?
We haven't gone to Alligators yet. I've heard that's a great venue.
Yeah,
one of the best.
So
better.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because that's a new one.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, it's nice, short and sweet. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. This is cool.
Yeah.
The Ear Coffee Podcast is a companion to the blog of the same name. If you like this episode, please leave us a rate and review so we can stand out among the other music podcasts. You can follow us at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram @EarCoffee. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.